Hello everyone, Gomez here for the LAN Up channel again with more card reveals. Oh, just all the champions we've seen. I don't think there's going to be a champion tonight because it's only 8 cards we've seen. And let's face it, we've had enough hype with 2 champions immediately right off the bat. So I feel like they're going to leave it a little bit before they give us another tasty morsel of champion. But 8 cards tonight, let's see what we've got. Let's see if we can just keep the hype for this set. This set is going to be amazing. Anyway, let's get in and see what those 8 cards are. Okay, so Twitter's put out, just literally right now on the hour, put this out on Twitter. So it doesn't look like cards at the moment. We're going to Mobile X for that, but it's talking about, so we knew that they were going to be adding Mastery of Champions. That's what it looks like. So we get to see the just that animation of going to the field is good as well. Okay. So we actually got to see the animations again. We've seen these bits already.
Fine work, soldier.
Okay.
Fine work.
So upon victory,
we fight till we're ragged.
Okay, so we actually get to see the level up of a chat, like in terms of, so in your collection, the way that they look, I'm guessing is what this is. So okay. Okay, so by mastering it, it is now, so people are going to be able to see that, and you're going to know yourself in that little tiny bit of the bomb, which is this is why they moved the icons. You know, there was the region icons. This is because that's where they used to be, in that little tiny bit at the bottom beneath the card text level up. So this is the reason that they had to move that, and they did that really quickly because everyone said it was a bit of a rush job. This is the reason why, because they probably was like, wait a minute, if we do this, you can't see the region things. So this is actually why it got rushed through. But you get to see in the background all of that. So as you're leveling up each champion, so just gets to show your prowess. So I can't wait to show my prowess with Heimer. Oh, the bots! Anyway. Okay. Unlock 5. So there's 5 different levels. And so, wait, let's just let it do its little animation. So this is how each one of these is going to look. So slowly but surely, as you go up in the levels, it will be like this glorious thing at the end. So like it goes from that to that, like it slowly but surely gets a little bit of thing, and then that last one does really look quite good. At least lets you go like, look, this is my prowess with this champion. So that's good, because it allows your opponent to know how many times you've kind of played a champion. Because like sometimes you see somebody who's like literally just playing a deck, and it can be a net deck. Let's face it. Like there's a lot of people, and you so you might be against Fiora Shen or something like that, and then you look at it and they put out their Fiora, but they haven't actually used Fiora that much, or that they're playing Pyro Aggro, which actually it takes a bit of skill to use that deck. So you get to see when they play Misfortune, or if they play Gangplank, you get to see how many times like they've kind of played that deck, and so you can be like, if they've got that one right at the end, like, they know exactly how this works. They know well. But if it's like they don't have any figures at the beginning, it's like, okay, they might not 100% grasp the concept of this deck yet. So it is actually quite a good thing. So also earn event pass progress. Let's see, because I did say that there's going to be an event pass. Ooh, so I'm assuming this is going to be like, so you earn the sun discs. So I'm guessing this is going to be like, you know, the KDA one and the things whereby you can get your way up, and then you at the different levels you unlock the things, or you can pay for the event pass, which gets you more options. Basically, is the thing. So okay, so we actually get to see. So yeah, so we get to do that. Does it sound shift in your favor? So you can get that. So you can actually get free copies of this. So these are the ones which are on the premiere thing if you get it. But so you can actually get free copies just by playing the game. I wonder whether or not they're gonna, you know, like how they did the KDA cards when they first came out, that you literally had to reach them on the thing before you could even get them, because you couldn't actually craft them. I wonder whether or not these cards are going to be like that, whereby you can't craft them the second the set comes out. You have to progress along this thing, because that's legitimately what happened with the KDA cards, was that you couldn't just craft the KDA cards immediately. You had to unlock them through going through the thing machine. Now obviously they're not going to do this for every single card, because there's so many new cards and whatnot happening in that, but there might be a few. But this might just be for people who are new, like new players don't have as much like many cards in the collection, and don't have enough resources to get them. So it's a nice free way of people being able to get these things. So that's actually quite a nice thing. I'm curious, that's the main thing. So yeah, so you can immediately just get Sun Discs, this lovely card art, and just so you actually get free copies as well, which is very nice. So actually, that's a nice little thing that they've just like showing. So it's showing you how the mastery works and showing you how the new progress thing's gonna happen. But my curiosity is gonna be whether or not it's gonna be like the KDA cards. That's gonna be the thing. But let's see some cards. We're here for some card action. Okay, we've got to wait a little bit. We will return. Okay, so here we are, the cards. Now it's the time of the cards. Oh, we're back to Shurima cards as well. Okay, right. So let's just go. Oh my god, that's the artwork of the little sand timer guy. No, I really want to know what he does, because obviously this looks like a daddy sunglass man who's woken up, so clocking. But okay, right. This is a landmark, one cost landmark again. So Shurima's been the only region which has had one cost landmarks, and now it's got 2 of them. So ancient preparation. So we should play predict. Okay, so that's a new keyword that we don't know exactly what it means yet. I'm guessing. See, there was like, you know, like I don't know if people remember in Hearthstone, there was like a card that was like it showed you 3 cards, and basically they were like 2 of them were not from your opponent's deck, and 1 of them was from your opponent's deck. And if you could guess which one was from your opponent's deck, then that counted as a prediction, and you could then make something happen. So I'm kind of curious to know what that word means here. But it's a countdown widget for 2, so countdown 2, which is not too bad because that it happens quite quickly. Summon a Clocklin. So this is what the Clocklin does. So it's more. The reason for playing this is the predict reason, but I want to know what predict does. Because yeah, so we're seeing a little bit more happen. So this region's starting to see a little bit more of this, like, kind of, so aspiring chronomancy. So predict, which obviously, like, a chronomancy, for anyone who remembers a chrono trigger, it's all to do with time. Like, chrono is a thing to do with time. So obviously that's where this predict archetype thing is coming in. But I want to know, I want to know what it means. Okay, so when I'm so this one, I said, like, I literally, like, it's an okay stat line for 2 as well. I just want to know what predict means to know whether or not that's going to be like really good or not. When I'm summoned, grant 3 random allies in your deck +3/+3. So that is quite good because it in terms of the fact that so it's a free cost that's giving you a free body on the board, but also it is buffing. And I just want to point out, this is a summon effect, right? When I'm summoned, grant 3 random allies, which can include champions, +3/+3. Meaning that technically, if I were to make a Shadow Isles deck using Siphon Soul or whatever the hell it is, the one which makes like 2, no, it's like, the Split Soul or whatever it is, so that then summons another. Basically, there's ways of Shadow Isles getting like some crazy value off of this card, right? Because it basically can summon it a number of times and just make your deck go insane. So that's actually quite nice, and I look forward to that. Okay, so we've got a student here. When I'm summoned, grant me +1/+1 if you've predicted this game. So this is going again off of the predict, which good thing here. So we've got 2 other cards which are working off of predict. He gets a +1, so for free cost here, drop us a 4/4. I mean, it's okay, but obviously we need to know more about this predict situation. But it's an okay thing, like potentially. But I'm not as hyped about this as I am hyped about the predict cards and what they can do through that. So, okay, let's see what we've got here. The returned. When I'm summoned, create a copy of me in your deck when you see me in a prediction. Okay, right. So prediction must be your own deck then. Okay, so prediction, so maybe predict means like, you know, if you can predict what the next card's gonna be, like, so, I don't, anyway, so when you see me in a prediction, grant all allied copies of me. So this is kind of like what's he say? The Marauder, the Legionnaire Marauder, whereby more copies of him actually gets you things. So, but like you have to have things with the keyword predict, so that you can then potentially see him in these predictions, which then will grant allied copies of him +2/+2. So potential like a synergy between these two, because if he's an ally in your deck, you can grant +3/+3, plus with him he's gonna be given an additional. So with this and with this, you could potentially give just him straight off the bat like a +5 if you use one of these and it hits him, and you use one of these, so immediately turning him into a 9/9 for 6. I can see potential synergies there, so we'll see how it goes. But obviously that's going to be... I need to see more predict cards as well. There is the fearsome keyword. Bearing in mind, we have already seen that there is that card, which basically, like, I think, like, we can actually, like, if I scroll down somewhere, we'll be able to see it. Where the hell were you? So, the domination one, which gives them -2, which can help with that. But as well, we do have the, which is Blood Main, who is also, when they attack, giving -2 to things this round. So, potential, like, a fearsome synergy, like, I work in it, and you can really get that guy up a lot potentially. But anyway, ooh, another. So we're getting 3 landmarks immediately with Shurima. Getting 3 landmarks. The Sun Disc is probably the most powerful. This one is a bit, because like basically it is okay. Counts down for 2. Then summon a clock. It's a 2/2 unless I can see it's legitimate. Like thing, like if the landmark stayed on the board and kept produce, so basically if this was a continuous producer, potentially that could find use, because then that just means that every single time it counts down to 2, it keeps summoning another one of these. But from what I remember, the countdown keyword was destroy this to make like the countdown come true. So that's the thing. I don't actually know how useful that landmark's going to be. But this landmark, when I'm summoned, draw 1, countdown 2. So additional draw, but it's taking up a space on the board. It's you're having to wait 2 turns for the payoff. I don't know, like these are different ways of seeing landmarks. We've never really seen landmarks that have gone down this route, where they're being used for either unit development or they're being used for just draw, you know what I mean? Like, but basically what I want to know of these 2 landmarks is, do they stay on the board? Because from what I remember, the countdown keyword is that once it gets there, it destroys it, and then the thing happens. So if this was a continuous thing that every single time it count down, there was, like, you know, there'd be something more worthwhile then if every single time it counted down to 2. So those 2 landmarks I'm not 100% sure about, but I could obviously be seen. I might see other things. So okay, so this one actually, like, I should stop talking before I read all the cards. Grant an allied landmark my countdown completion effects, which is so okay, right? So the idea of this is that if you play this on top of one of these 2, so the countdown effect happens twice, therefore meaning that you would summon 2 of these guys, or you would draw 2 of them. Bear in mind that this, which is an allied landmark, this which is like a bit out, but it does say cooldown effect, or which is the countdown completion, so it can only literally be used on these ones right now, because let's face it, the other one, so the actual Sun Disc is just immediately draw all of your things. So immediately drawing them twice, that would let happen, and for the rest of the game your level 2 ascends to level 3, so that part of it doesn't really matter, because that's going to happen anyway after the first one. So but it can make the things draw twice if you use it on the Sun Disc. Here it will make you, like, on the countdown draw 2, and here it will make you like a complete 2. I don't 100% know, but there is potential for that, and if that slightly gets reworded to make things happen twice, like or correction, if the what's his face one, the Slaughter Docks, the Bilgewater landmark gets kind of reworded to be like kind of like countdown, and like every single turn it goes down 1, but also for all the cards that I toss, like, you know what I mean, like if they can, or when you're deep I activate, or I count down, basically the ability to maybe get 2 sea monsters. That's not with the current keywords that there are now, but I mean, if that landmark changes, then it's potential to use this outside of just these 2 landmarks, because right now these 2 landmarks are the only ones that it works with, because they're the only ones that have like a countdown, and it's a thing that is working with that gets destroyed. But in a manner of speaking, the Bilgewater Slaughter Docks does get destroyed at the end of its turn, so maybe the change of that landmark, this could see a little bit of play in a deep deck. But in this, I'm not 100% sure. Like, you'd have to wait until they maybe add more landmarks. Like, for all we know, because we have no idea yet with all this set. This set might introduce landmarks into each of the different regions, which each of them has a countdown effect. Like, for all, well, we don't know yet. Obviously, that's just pure speculation. But to make this card a little bit more viable. I don't think these two landmarks are enough to make this card 100% viable. All it is summoning another 2/2s or summoning or drawing 2 cards. I don't know, for a slow speed 4, I'm not 100% sure that that's going to be legit. Potentially, if there's some way of buffing these clocking things, like in terms of fact, like if there's something which literally just keeps them buffing, so every single time it summons, it's summoning in like them in a better way, maybe. But right now, that's it. But these cards, I'm definitely excited about this predict mechanic. I need to know exactly what it does yet. I'm going to check on terms on thingamajig, see whether or not they say anything on Twitter as to what predict actually means. The amazingness of this card, I'm actually going to love this card a lot. The researcher, the ability to summon it as many times as possible, especially using Shadow Isles tricks. I can definitely see a lot of fun coming out of that. This card remains like bit meh at this moment in time. It goes up to a 4/4, but it depends on obviously whether or not there's going to be more things in that mechanic. I mean, obviously, if you're using predicting, you're using the researcher, potentially this is an ally that could be hit. So for free cost, it would be a 6/6 already. It would go up to a 7/7, like, you know, if that gets, but that's pure speculation. That's like if that gets hit, basically. That's like luck of the draw, basically, is what I'm trying to say there. But this guy, yet again, potential, but I'd have to wait and see how many more predict cards we get. There might even be a champion which works off of predict, and so we can see how that works. But I'm just going to quickly check to see whether or not they explain the predict keyword on here. But so it looks like you look for your own deck. Ah, here we go. Finally, we get to actually get the fever shot. I should have actually looked here immediately. What's wrong with me? So pick a card from among 3 in your deck, shuffle the deck and put that card on the top. Okay, so predict is like, okay, so you get 3 cards, you get to pick which you get to pick one of them. It then shuffles the rest of the deck, leaving that one on top, so you know for a fact that's coming. So with this guy, it means that if he's in that free selection, he gets to he buffs the rest of his guys. If you could then grab him to immediately be able to play, or if you want to be using I can see its potential abilities, right? So potentially this landmark, it mainly gets played for its predict effect rather than its countdown effect. But the predict, I can actually see being quite a nice little keyword to be making sure you can get what you want to get and whatnot. So actually, really good, nice, interesting new keyword in my opinion. But please let me know, what do you think down in the comment section down below. Please let me know your thoughts on this. I'm actually really liking the idea of this because it is another way of looking for your deck and making sure you know what you're going to be drawing next. It can definitely, like, if you cross it with a few different draw mechanics, so you can predict to make sure this goes to the top and then make sure you're drawing it. Like there's certain things that you can do to cheat certain things out, so it's quite interesting to see how that's going to go. But as I said, please let me know what you think down in the comment section down below about these new cards. I'm massively hyped. See what we're going to do with these things. I want to get this little clock man out. That's all I want to do. Especially when he's got the little satellite in the full art. It's got the no! But anyway, yes. Bear in mind, shameless plug time, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. If you didn't know, I stream on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So you want to come catch the action live of me playing Runeterra, talking absolute bollocks, making crazy decks, please feel free to pop along. As well as the fact there is a Discord link down below if you want to join the Discord. There is movie night and games night, like monthly movie night and games night. The next games night is going to be next Thursday. So if you want to get involved with that, feel free to. But do not feel forced. These are just the options for you. Just thank you to everyone who's already supporting me by subscribing or following over there. In all honesty, the fact that anyone gives me the time of day is amazing. So honestly, thank you all so much. And if you're not already subscribed, why not consider it? But do not feel forced. Anyway, I hope that you have a great evening. I cannot wait to be back tomorrow evening with more card reveals. So until that time, bye. From Flash of Brilliance that could save me. Save me! That doesn't save me. Okay. Is there anything from you? Save me. That doesn't save me! Okay. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Find something that can save me.